Having a supplementary damage 5+ with the ideal traits in the game is one of the greatest goals of an endgame player in Granblue Fantasy Relink. However, the biggest caveat to this whole thing is its horrendous drop rate and way of acquisition. Personally, I am still in the process of hunting the ever-dream supplementary damage 5+. I am the Samurai, and in this video, I will be sharing my personal ways, setups, and even practices when hunting the Supp 5+ in lower difficulty quests or even in proud difficulty, so you will have an idea of what will be the ideal setup to go for to be efficient when hunting the rarest sigil in the game. With that out of the way, let's start by explaining how Curio drop works, since we did receive a comprehensive data from Nenkai, and thanks to Nenkai for bringing light to the subject, which even solidifies my personal practices. Before my actual setup and farming spots, the first thing that we need to understand is how the Curio drop system works. And there are two major things to tackle. The first one would be Curio groupings. The groups are divided into 5, and depending on what difficulty you already unlocked, this will determine what Curio group you are currently with. Why is grouping important, I hear you asking? And to make it simple, each group will determine the drops that you get from Curios. The higher the group you're in, the better the rewards you have access to. So it is mandatory to at least unlock proud difficulty to get the most out of your Curio drops before engaging in excessive Curio, auto farm, or manual farming. Most people who will farm for supplementary damage 5+ are either their characters are already maxed or already unlocked proud mode anyway. Now that the groupings are out of the way, let's talk about how Curio tier works. Even though it's not visible on the actual Curio itself, we can say that each Curio has its own rarity and they are divided into tiers. Tier 1 is the lowest and Tier 4 is the highest on the other hand. One thing that we need to note is supplementary damage 5+ only drops from Tier 4 Curios under Group 5 with a 0.3 drop rate. You heard it pretty clearly, and this explains why supplementary damage 5+ is so rare, since Tier 4 Curios are rare as well. But assuming you are already in proud mode and unlocked Group 5, I provided a breakdown for each Curio rate on each difficulty tier. You can pause the screen if you want to, so you can examine the rates carefully. Now this may confuse you, but to make things really simple, if you are farming solely for supplementary damage 5+, you only need to get as many Tier 4 Curios as you can. However, one cannot say that hey, you should be farming at proud difficulty quest only, since it gives you 3% chance of getting Tier 4 Curios. This is simply inaccurate. The best spots where you will be farming for Curios will still depend on how strong your current team is, and it all boils down to how fast you can clear certain stages. With that being said, I am here to share my personal spots and setup, starting with team setup, and you can clearly see that my team is still out of shape at this point, and you will probably have a better team than mine. Having one max character, which is Narmaya, and only having a decent equipment for my other party members. The main party member so far is Rakam, of course, if I am farming at extreme difficulty quest, followed up by Yugen and Cagliostro. Change Narmaya to Percival or Rosetta, since these two are far better in terms of AI. Narmaya is just there since I haven't raised Percy or Rosetta at the time of this recording. I've also included my team's equipment and sigils on the screen, and it's kind of pointless to cover them one by one since they are all following the typical DPS setup that we are all currently using. And the same thing for skills, and for the sake of the video as well, I will also be showing them on the screen. Feel free to pause the video. One thing that I do want to mention is that Eugen's Paralyzing Bullet is non-negotiable skill that makes runs faster and works well with other status elements like Poison. But before anything else, if you are into straight to the point guides, tips and tricks like this one, or just love Japanese role-playing games and Souls-like games in general, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and it will surely help me a lot. Join our Discord server as we are building an empire where we can help each other. Now on to the farming spots. Now that the setup is out of the way, it's time for the actual farming spot. For the first one, I will still stand my ground where you can still farm the very hard difficulty quest, the next hot topic, especially when auto farming. This quest is still a viable option and you will still have a 1.8% chance of getting Tier 4 Curios, especially if you can clear this in under 8 seconds. The next one on the list is General Investigation Galanza under extreme difficulty. I've also suggested this in the past, and in my opinion, this is by far the best spot when farming tier 4 Curios alone, especially if I can clear each run between 11 to 12 seconds, since Galanza will rush at you when the battle starts. Having 2.1% rates for the tier 4 Curios with the said clear time is more than efficient in my opinion, and also being done in auto farming. It could also be faster if I were able to optimize my other equipment. Moving on to the next spot, and I will be suggesting Blazing Trial for the optimal spot when farming Curios in Proud difficulty. I have suggested this spot many times since you can get damage cap 5+, tyranny 5+, fortitude crystals large, and more. Having a 3% tier 4 Curio drop rate may be enticing, but make sure that you can clear this quest efficiently if you are farming solely for Curios. Of course, farming in this spot will require a different setup since you can auto in Maniac and Proud, and I will also be posting my Jita's build to withstand attacks. My defense setup for her is not optimal in any way, but it does the job very well. Your other 3 characters are more important in this case since they will be the ones deleting the bosses. Fastest auto clear time for Blazing Trial in my current team is 3 minutes to 3 and 45 minutes. A close to max team can easily score a stable 3 minutes in this case, and like this one that you are seeing on the screen. Especially when Narmaya and Rackham will be changed to Cagliostro or Percival. Play with these spots according to your team strength and get the most out of them. May the RNG bless you, and hopefully we all get our hands on supplementary damage 5+ soon. How's your hunting so far, and let me know in the comments below. If you are a beginner and if you want to have the best start possible, or even want to know how auto farming works, click the videos here and I will catch you on the next one.